Balls. All right. Are we already on GarageBand?
Yeah, we've been going for a little while.
Perfect. Well,
Happy anniversary.
It's really weird not doing this without a click, 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 click.
Click, 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 like the POD song. Is that POD?
Click, clack. I don't know.
Click, click, boom.
What am I supposed to say? Welcome back, boys and girls. It's
Welcome
episode
back.
170,000.
50. No.
You know what
I almost said 52 weeks in a row.
Yeah, what I was actually trying to find was what the first date we actually uploaded a podcast was, but it's hard to find because of a couple things.
Yeah.
Number one, iTunes just makes it really hard to find like really old episodes.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And that's really weird. Number two, we if you haven't gathered yet, it's our 2-year anniversary. Let me start with that because I realize we're tweeting it out, but we didn't actually say it. But other than that, do you remember there was a problem? There wasn't actually a problem, but I read that the stats and stuff and different services worked better if you didn't have certain characters and spaces in your file names. So we were only like 10 episodes in, so I just said fuck it, and I just vaporized them and re-uploaded them just to get ahead of the problem. I don't think it ever would have mattered, but I just thought it was the right thing to do at the time. So all of our first listings are actually listed as December 28th, which is not true because that's when I did that. It's really funny though. Our first episode was Thanksgiving weekend, then I vaporized them Christmas weekend.
When we get famous, we're gonna have to tear them all down again, so we don't get sued for copyright infringement.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You mean because of our songs at the end of every podcast?
Well, we get permission from all of them, so
obviously, but they're all friends.
Yeah, I just don't want there to be any like somebody questioning it.
Yeah. But then I went and shit ass balls. I told you this thing wouldn't stay.
I thought it was gonna be me. I'm gonna whack the shit out of this thing.
I'm just gonna get rid of this thing. And then I went to Twitter and I checked when our first tweet was. That was December 5th. So we're definitely on the right path here because it's our 54th, which obviously is 52 weeks in a year and double that.
Yeah, but we actually recorded like, was it the week the Xbox One came out?
It was
Did we wait until I got
the PS4 came out first, right?
Yeah.
And then the Xbox came out. So
or was it a week after we were like
it must have been
a podcast and talk about this shit.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the week or it was like 2 weeks, but it was definitely after the Xbox came out because the whole point was we talked about PS4 and Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so 2 years ago ish, we borrowed 2 mics from our producer Chad, who used to be our producer. We grabbed 2 mics from his studio recording, which were terrible for podcast purposes because they're made to pick up everything in a bad way, like in a good way for music, but in a bad way for podcasting. So Chad had to do horrible things to edit those. He had to so you have like 2 tracks in GarageBand or Audacity, whatever you use. He used to, whenever I was talking, he would cut out your track. And whenever you were talking, he would cut out my track. It used to take him fucking forever.
That sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah. So these mics were big to help with that because they're made to be spoken into like cone-like, so they don't pick up outside noise, which is nice. And we had no idea what we were doing. And no, not at all. But we powered through it. And it was perfect because we had so much shit to talk about and we got hammered drunk. And we just basically talked about Xbox One and PS4 for 3 hours. It took us, I would say, 45 minutes to start.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew kickstart.
But that first podcast we recorded was the fastest like 3 hours of my life. I remember because we were only I think we were only going to go like an hour or something like that. Because that's how it ended up breaking.
Yeah, I don't know if we had a plan. I don't remember.
I don't think we planned on going like 3.5 hours.
But we didn't want to have a 3-hour podcast, so we split them up into 3 episodes. But they were really the first episode split into 3 parts, which in hindsight was a really big mistake because so they're all episode 1, part 1, 2, and 3. And every time I do the podcast, I want to do it right. So when I do the file data, which I can't think of the name of right now because I'm tired. But anyway, there's like, you put the artist and all that stuff, that kind of metadata. And every time I have to put the track and I have to add to because of that fucking episode.
Yeah.
Because if you have all the files, technically this episode's track 106, even though it's episode 104, because there's 3 for episode 1. Anyway, a minor annoyance, but still an annoyance.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. It's crazy that I think the weirdest thing for me is that we haven't missed a week. I don't know if that like says something good about us or we have no lives and we're just always around every other week.
Well, I think I'm always open to missing a week and just not being on it once, as long as it gets recorded.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing I cared about. But I think that this kind of, I tell people about this all the time. And the person I heard say it was Jerry Seinfeld. I don't know if he invented it, but he talks, I don't know what he calls it, but he basically talks about like habit building.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, get a calendar, start a habit. Let's say it's writing jokes for 30 minutes a day, which is, I'm assuming, something that he was talking about, something like that. And it probably more like an hour, 2 hours, but put a red X on the calendar every day you do it. And at some point when you get to 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, you just don't want to break that streak, and you feel so guilty about it. And that's kind of what it is. Like, you get to the point where you're like, fuck this. Like, I've got so much going on in my life, but you're like, it's been 100 weeks in a row. I can't not do it now.
There's something very similar on his show, on the episodes.
Or Seinfeld?
On not the episodes. Yeah, on his refrigerator. There's like a quote very similar to what you
mean
said.
Literally in the show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would make sense, because that was his thing that he said.
It's like 4 different words. I forget exactly what it is. My phone is so loud. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think that's really all it is, because like there's been weeks where I've been like, fuck this. Not that it's painful to do or anything. I mean, it's easy, it's fun. I mean, but at the same time, like, especially the problem is we never do it on weekends, and when it comes to a weekday night, you just don't want to do shit.
Yeah, once we lost Chad, it really fucked with our schedule. We used to be like, we have to get it done Friday or Saturday.
Right. That was nice, because we had that pressure to get it to Chad in time, where he had a few days to do it,
and
even though he never did it before Tuesday night.
Like, fuck it, we'll do it when we'll do it.
Yeah,
whatever. Still fun.
I really hate doing it Tuesday nights and uploading it, which is what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of doing the work during the week, because I feel like I never have energy to like do it.
Yeah,
like, not that I'm like the most charismatic person ever on a podcast, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes I just don't have energy.
I was gonna say something about booze.
You pour your Kickstart in that thing?
No, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about something about booze and, getting our energy back during this podcast. And then I was thinking someone's gonna have to get beers during this. I don't mind doing it, but you're gonna have to talk by yourself for a good 2 minutes.
Have I ever talked on this podcast by myself?
No, Adam ditches me all the fucking time.
Yeah, but you're good. You're
and by all the time, I mean maybe like 4 times.
It's probably been a handful.
Yeah, but maybe like 6. Yeah, and that that was part of the weird part about starting this, was like, it's funny. Everybody hears stuff and thinks, like, everybody hears a podcast and thinks, well, I can do that. And the truth is, you can, sure, but talking and being, creative and like not repeating yourself and all that stuff for an hour a week, because we've made friends in podcasts and we've met some other amateur podcasts that are really good. And not that we're the, be all end all of reviewing other podcasts, but like, we've met a bunch of amateur podcasts that are really bad.
Yeah.
So there's a level of, and it's skill and hard work. And
sometimes they can be good, but they just like, one thing about podcasting, I didn't think we realize. Well, we kind of realized it's expensive to start.
That's true.
And you're not making any money. Like, we were fortunate enough to get these mics because, I won that fantasy football league, and we just threw all the money towards that. Yeah, well, which covered like
we totally would have bought them anyway. But
yeah, but it was nice.
But it was nice.
It was right before Christmas, wasn't it? Was it before Christmas?
I mean, it was Thanksgiving. Or no, actually, I don't know when we.
It was a couple of weeks.
Yeah, something. I mean, I wouldn't get the mics, but
they're expensive to buy right before Christmas.
Yeah. But if you get $100 mics, you're okay. But you need to get $100 mics. Yeah, that's part one. I mean, the fact that Bill Burr has a popular podcast is amazing, because he has the worst sound quality of any podcast I listen to by far. Like, it's not even close.
His producer must fucking hate him.
Well, I think also 2 things. Number one, I know what he uses. Have you ever seen those things that it's like a handheld, like like the handheld like recorders that you would get, or you just hit record? It's like a new version of that. It's much better than that, but it has like, there's like 2 things that come across it like this, and it's like a dual microphone. They're actually not bad. He probably uses it the wrong way, but it's not as good as like using like a dedicated microphone. Yeah. I also think his producer sucks though.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, he had a huge podcast. He had just done Madison Square Garden. It's like really important. It was really a great podcast, and it was only coming out on 1 speaker. That's on the producer, dude. Yeah. I mean, I don't care if Bill Burr recorded it on 1 speaker. Put some fucking headphones on while you're producing it.
Yeah, even I know how to fix that.
Yeah, it was really bad. So yeah, I think that's half the problem too. But
yeah, but
you could only do so much with the source material, so that's half the battle.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Like, so many people want to do this, and that's great, but they just don't get the proper equipment and they just keep going. I mean, good for them. Like the other day, I'm part of the Let's Play subreddit, and there was this guy. He was doing Let's Plays without an Elgato, without a capture device, using an iPod or an iPhone to capture his video. So he was just recording his TV screen.
That's pretty bad.
And using like a mic to record his
What
voice.
amazes me about that is,
and people were like giving him advice how to do it. It was like, that's gonna look like shit.
Yeah, I understand that people can't afford like certain things, and I get that. But like, if you're gonna put that much hard work and dedication into it, like, get a part-time job for 3 weeks,
or just wait. Yeah,
because we're not talking about $1,000. Like, ideally, that's what you want to spend, but we're talking about like you need to spend $200 probably to like get a decent setup.
Do it right, I guess.
But yeah, it's not one big help that we had was that we had Chad, because I knew nothing about audio at the time.
I still don't know anything about audio.
Yeah, I mean, well, I knew how to like cut it up. I could do that part of it, but like I didn't know anything about like levels and mastering it and like peaks and all that shit. So
Spear is really good.
It's really good beer. It's one of my favorites.
I've never heard of it. I was thinking of like when you said Flower Power, I was thinking like Magic Hat style.
Yeah, I almost didn't get it for a while because I didn't like the sound of it. I thought it was gonna be like, I don't know,
it's a little hippy dippy.
Yeah, and not even that. I don't know. I just didn't. It doesn't taste like what I thought it was gonna taste like.
Hippy dippy offensive?
I don't care.
Neither.
Tree hugger.
Neither.
Yeah. So the one thing that was really nice for us that we had going for us, because this is the one lesson that I've learned more than anything else doing this podcast at the beginning, was that I wasn't working, and that was huge because the hardest part about starting a podcast to me is that you have to do 90% of the work up front. You have to have everything going. You have to have your logo ready to go. You have to have a website. You have to have the feed to serve all this stuff. You have to fill in all of these text quotes and descriptions and names, and you have to learn how to do the mastering, and you have to upload the files and figure out what sample you want to use and what bit rate. And I'm missing like 1,000 things.
None of that makes any sense to me.
Dude, there was so much upfront work. And for me, it was great because like I wasn't working at the time, and I wanted something like this to do that was like a creative outlet. So, and I even like making the website was fun, which you don't have to do when you start a podcast. But that to me is like, if you're going to start a podcast, don't just dive into it. Take 2 weeks to a month, set everything up, get your stuff ready, get all your quotes that you got to fill in, get your logo ready, get a plan, learn how to do all the shit before you record your first episode, because once you go, it's game time.
Yeah.
And we killed it at the beginning to some extent. I mean, I think we could do a better launch now, obviously, because we know more, but for what we knew, which was fucking nothing, I think we did a pretty good job.
I think the album art really saved, or our art really saved us, because it really popped.
Yeah, it really did.
Garbage.
Yeah, when you looked at the new and noteworthy, ours definitely was sticking out, because that, I think people underestimate the effect that has. You know, if it doesn't look professional, people aren't going to click on it.
And God bless the first, like, I don't know, 12 people that we never knew that reviewed us, that took the time to review us.
That was big too.
I mean, we still have the 5-star rating on iTunes. We haven't got a review in a while, but like, they were like, we listened to a couple, they pointed out like our errors, because obviously we didn't know what we were doing. Like, we talked over each other a lot. We did this, we did that, but then like we stuck with it, and we really enjoy it. But like, this is in our rotation each week, and that stuff was awesome. Having that early feedback really made a difference, I think, for us. Yeah,
I mean, the problem with podcasts is that Apple doesn't own them. Like, I heard on the ATP podcast, they said, it was a good point. They said it's actually, podcasts are pretty safe with Apple because they don't really give a shit about them in a good way, because they aren't like trying to monetize them and turn them into this like business, like kind of YouTube-ish.
Which is kind of amazing. Sorry to cut you off, because those podcasts are getting downloaded millions and millions of times, and there's advertisements within those podcasts that Apple's not getting anything for.
Yeah, I think it's more about and they're just not a services company.
They're kind of stingy. Like, if you use the Amazon app, if you bought a Kindle book inside of the Amazon app before, you had to pay. Part of it went to Apple, so now they send you to like.
You're gonna have to keep talking into that mic.
Yeah,
you can't look at me.
now they send you, like, if you buy like a Kindle app inside the iPhone app.
Yeah, no, I know
you to the website. So,
but the thing is, that's like their app store, and that's something that they focus on. Podcasts are free, so I think it's a much different puzzle for them. I'm not saying they'll never try to capitalize on it somehow.
I'm surprised they
but I just don't think it's important to them right now because they're killing it in the hardware business and the app store stuff. And they're not really into advertisements. Like they do a little bit of that stuff, but like that's really Google. Like Google is really the one that would probably try to take that over. Either way, the point is that they were trying to make is that they don't really give a shit. So it's still like this wide open thing where two people on their couch can compete with, you know, Bill Burr. Like that's what's cool about it. It's still that. It's like the blogs, you know, it's still that to this day. The problem though is just because Apple of their sheer popularity in iTunes and everything, and that's, I mean, podcasts, I'm assuming came from iPod, right? Like that's where they started. And the problem with that is it's so dependent on iTunes. And that's why I say when I say prepare, if you ever want to start a podcast, if you don't kill it in the first month on iTunes, you're fucked because you drop off of new and noteworthy, and that's you build 90% of your audience through that first month on iTunes. And we didn't know that at the time, and we got pretty lucky.
I remember but early on, everybody's like, oh, why you like, they would ask like, why do you always just post like the iTunes links? Well, because like 95% of our downloads come from iTunes.
Yep.
Like people are like, why aren't you on SoundCloud? It's like, because we got, I don't know, 200 downloads on SoundCloud. We got 10,000 on iTunes.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know.
Yeah. And they just own the market.
Yeah.
And even, but it's not just them. It's the fact that, like, for example, Overcast, which is the guy on the ATP podcast who made there's a popular podcast. It's like the main competitor with the one we use. Whatever it's called.
Pocket Cast.
Pocket Cast.
Is Pocket Cast on iOS?
Yeah.
Did you have to rebuy it?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, whatever. It's $4 or something. It might have been $3. He bases his whole database off of the iTunes store, I think. So that's how dominant that it is. And that's one of the things that sucks about it, because again, like the reason we haven't gotten a review since then is because no one's discovering it off of iTunes anymore. Like when we add new people, it's not off of iTunes anymore, because that the only way you can discover people is off of the new and noteworthy. Yeah, and you can't be featured on that. There's like a time limit. I don't remember if it's a month or 2 months, but like there's a time limit, and then you're off of that. So unless you're a top podcast, which obviously, you know, we're not going to be in the top 5 video game podcasts in the world.
Not yet.
You're off iTunes basically forever. So that's why like we got like a shitload of reviews early, and then it tapers off. And we didn't really beg for reviews either. Like I think all of those are organic, except maybe like 3 of our friends.
Yeah, no,
5 of our friends. Something like that.
And remember when my uncle gave us 4 stars?
Yeah, I was gonna punch him in his face.
I think Rybos gave us 4 stars too.
I think he did, but I think he edited his. I have a feeling that both of them did that because they thought 4 stars was the max.
Probably.
or they're
like, well, maybe these people are gonna call me out on it.
I was gonna say, or maybe because it would look realistic or something. I don't know.
It didn't fuck with our average, but. Like, and one of my favorite
iTunes is like Amazon. You're 5-star or 1-star. You know,
one of my favorite things ever too is like going back and like hitting like most recent on reviews and like seeing somebody that like takes the time out of their day and redoes their review and adds stuff to like encourage people to listen to us. Like Laurel has done it.
And like people that we've never spoken to have done it. And you know, one of my New Year's resolutions every year, and I've never followed through with it, like most New Year's resolutions, is I always tell myself when I go to like really like places that aren't, you know, well paid, like say like Dunkin' Donuts, something like that. If I have a really good experience,
there's no such thing as a good experience in Dunkin' Donuts.
That's probably a bad example, but like when I go to like a restaurant, like when I go someplace where like someone goes out of their way who's not getting paid well to like and like has a really good experience, I really want to like tell their manager and like just like leave them a review, something to be like, you know, this person is awesome, you should keep them forever. You know what I'm saying? And I never do it, but I always tell myself I want to do that because like you only get people that bitch about things. You never get people that say positive things. You know what I mean?
I apologize for my phone. There's nothing. I was thinking about putting over in here.
There's got to be a way to mute that vibrate.
Oh, I can disable my notifications.
Yeah, you should do that.
That's the one thing that sucks about Android. Like it used to be great for all that stuff. Now you have to like just cancel your notifications.
That's weird. By the way, anytime you finish that beer, I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready. You can go get one
okay. We can't stop though because we're live podcasting.
Let me think of something to talk about. Give me something.
Do you want me to go get it?
Oh, I'm going to talk about Jessica Jones.
All right. You want me to?
You're good.
You're going to do it? I like this. This is the first time.
All right. No, I'm going to go on a bitch fest about Jessica Jones.
Interesting. I haven't seen it, so I have nothing to add to that.
So.
I've heard that she has sex on it.
She has sex with she's a fan of the BBC. Does everybody know what the BBC is? Am I the only person?
I don't know.
Is it because I watch too much porn?
Probably.
All right, so Jessica Jones is a Marvel show. I've been a big fan of anything superhero for the longest time. I hate Jessica Jones. I think Jessica Jones is one of the worst TV shows I've ever seen in my life. Let me explain this, because the first 2 episodes I think are fine. I think they just do a terrible job explaining the character, building the character, and then they just throw this constant bullshit at this character. Everything around her, it just falls apart. And she's supposed to be like this cool private detective, and she can handle all this crap. And she comes up with the worst decisions ever to solve problems. And it drives me fucking nuts. Like when they're trying to catch Kilgrave, so many times she could just get him, and she's got him, and then she just lets him go, and it makes no fucking sense. And that's why Jessica Jones is the worst show ever. I did a terrible job explaining. I need somebody that like actually likes the show to talk to me about.
I know it gets reviewed well, so I'm sure they're out there.
I can't believe this show gets reviewed well.
You know, I'm probably never gonna watch it. So.
I wish you would watch it, because you fucking hate things like no other.
That's why I can't watch like it's hard to explain. Like there's certain things that I can totally overlook and enjoy something, but like there's certain types of things that I can't, and I just feel like a comic book TV show would drive me fucking crazy.
And you know, I'm kind of like a fanboy. I'm kind of soft on everything. Like I'm not that hard. Like only the things I really hate, I'm really harsh about. I think Jessica Jones is seriously one of the worst TV shows I've ever watched. I watched all 13 episodes, so fuck anybody else. Like, oh, the show's great.
That's
like,
impressive.
It's not. It's so bad. Like, it's so stupid. It's one of the stupidest shows I've ever seen. And the thing is, like, Daredevil was so fucking good.
Now, can I throw in the obvious easy jab here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it worse than Arrow?
No, because Arrow's fine. Like, at least you know.
I've never seen either, so I can't comment on either.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point, because I do like Arrow and I like Flash. But, like,
well, Daredevil's like the universal best of all those, right? That's considered the best.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I haven't seen Supergirl. Gotham actually got
Supergirl. Okay, so on IGN, if you pick a video game, a comic book show, the reviews are forget about the reviews. The comment section is always universally positive. Like, like let's say the show really sucks, it'll be like, well, yeah, there's blah, blah, blah. Like, they'll just gloss over massive errors and be like, you know, this is really great. Supergirl, even the comments were shitting on that show.
It looked dumb. My whole problem with, like, Supergirl, people aren't stupid. Like, if you came in wearing glasses, left.
Yeah, that's always been tough.
And, like, saved my life when you weren't wearing glasses, I'd be like, hey, thanks, Andy.
I mean, I guess you could say somewhat.
How?
It's not nearly as bad in Batman. There's a little bit of that, but like, yeah, Superman is just stupid. It's literally like, yeah, like it's fucking glasses.
And it only gets worse now with like social media. Like in real life, people would take a picture of him. Somebody that knows him very well would see that picture eventually.
And you know me, like I love like the lookalike thing. If I saw someone that was that, I'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah. Supergirl looks trash.
That being said, that's not the problem with the show. I think the problem with the show is that it sucks.
Yeah, but
there's only a certain level of corniness. Like, for example, Arrow looks horrible to me, but the people who like Arrow like it because it has a good mix of
the thing
corny, like to a point that like people like.
The thing I like about Arrow, and I think Arrow's saving grace, is that it goes deep down into like the DC well. Like it finds like what comic people like, and it brings it to life that I'll never see.
Right. It knows its audience.
Yeah,
you're saying, yeah,
I'll never see the stuff they do in anything else. So it's kind of cool for it to happen.
Right.
It is really corny. Some of the acting is fucking god awful.
That's tough for me.
It's really fucking bad sometimes.
Yeah,
but like
it's not made for me.
Yeah.
So I'm
once
never
you
gonna
get into the story, it's fine. And like they do a good job with some of the stories. Like early on, like first 5 episodes, I was like, what the fuck are people talking about? And I kept watching and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But Gotham got really good. I don't know how Gotham got really good. Gotham was bad. Gotham was really bad.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Marvel Hero. What the hell is it? Shield?
Agents of Shield. I didn't like that show either.
That's all I got.
I don't know. Jessica Jones is just so bad. I wish you would watch it.
Yeah, I probably
It's
won't.
really
Maybe.
like every episode she almost catches the bad guy and then he slips away.
It's really funny because
Every episode.
people at work were talking about this today.
Every fucking episode.
And how they really like Jessica Jones.
It's so bad.
How they liked Arrow, even though it was really funny because I go, so what is it about Arrow? Because I've seen the previews and I think it looks terrible. And they're like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I know you like, I can't explain why I like it, but
car crash.
They literally said this like 3 times in a row. 2 different guys. They go, you know, it's like I know it's like there's problems, but like, and I was like, you haven't said anything.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. Like they had like the same response. They're like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on why I like it, but I think it's not bad.
The Jessica Jones problems.
They didn't like Flash though.
Are so overwhelming. Flash isn't that great.
They love Daredevil. Flash
is a hard character.
They didn't like Flash.
It's a hard character. I don't know. Anything with like superpowers. Like I think the characters that don't have superpowers are so much easier to have like their own TV show, so you can relate to them. Like Flash, he's like the ultimate superhero. Like how do you stop him?
Yeah.
Like he would destroy anybody.
Yeah.
It's like he can stop. He can like catch a bullet with his hand.
Well,
like, what do you do against him?
That's the biggest problem with Superman.
And his hero, like
unless you have like kryptonite, it's like yay.
And the Flash's villains are some of the worst fucking villains. Like there's like a fucking gorilla.
I don't know what is Jessica Jones. When I see the previews, it doesn't look like a superhero.
She's like an Avenger or an ex-Avenger. Is she
like more like an assassin?
Does
she have a superpower?
She's really strong.
Okay.
And she kept on getting like shot and cut and like beat up. There's one scene she's super strong, and she's fist fighting like regular guys, and they beat her.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
weird.
What the fuck is this? Like they set her up in this show to fail so many fucking times.
Wouldn't she like throw him over a building?
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, yeah.
And like she's supposed to be like super like in the first couple episodes they show her as like a super quirky like private eye. Like she drinks a little, but she always solves the crime. And then she comes up with the stupidest fucking ideas every single time to solve a problem, and it just backfires every single time. And bad shit happens everywhere around her, and then there's no emotion in the show. It's just so bad. I would love to get somebody on the show or to talk to somebody that likes the show, so I would just yell at them.
Yeah, I got nothing, but
like it's really bad.
Yeah,
like bad.
Yeah,
but what is good is Master of None by Aziz Ansari.
I saw one. Ben tried to play that on.
It's really
Thanksgiving.
It's really like dry humor.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of Louis kind of esque, not really, but like it has the same level of like we're not going to make jokes every 5 seconds kind of.
There's a couple laugh out they're like,
yeah, it's pretty good. I would give it a chance.
Did you watch?
I probably won't watch all of it.
There's an episode where he's like babysitting little kids.
Yeah. I saw the first 2 episodes. I think.
Did you see the part where they walk in the ice cream place? There's a black lady sitting there, and the little girl points at her. She goes, "Black lady," and there's an Asian. She goes, "Chinese lady."
I don't think I said
it's fucking hilarious.
I was in and out of my turkey dough.
The whole episode was about like the decisions to have kids. Like, would it ruin your life? Would it not ruin your life? And then he's just like, these little kids are just fucking monsters. And the little kids like rubbing his dick on waffle boxes.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, it's so funny. Those kids were fucking.
Well, he talks about that all the time in his stand up.
My only problem with the show is like they use his real dad. And they're so over the top with him. He's like goofy, weird.
Yeah, he doesn't act. He's not a very good actor.
No, I didn't like it at all.
It's funny. My mom was watching that with us, and she just goes, "There's this weird thing where there's so many people now that try to make a joke out of not becoming adults, and it's just so old." And I was like, you know what? That's a really good point.
Yeah, our generation sucks.
That really is like a thing now. Like, how easy is it to make a joke about like not growing up? You know, like that's what she meant. Not getting old, but not growing up. Like that's like the whole thing now. Like, look at me not growing up.
Yeah.
And that's Aziz's entire stand up, you know, is look at my friends. They're getting married and having kids. They're all idiots. I'm smart because I'm still single and whatever.
And like text messaging is a big part of his skit too.
Yeah.
But he's really funny.
I love Aziz.
We saw him live and he was fucking great.
Oh, he's really funny. But that is really like his whole shtick.
Yeah.
And there's other people like that too. But yeah, TV shows, that's pretty much covers everything that I've thought of watching or watched lately.
No, I did enjoy Master of None. I thought it was fun.
Speaking of which, Jay just watched Flash, Daredevil, and Arrow. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's probably been watching my Netflix.
Probably, but either way, like when he wasn't hanging out during Thanksgiving weekend, when he was too busy, he devoured 3 full-length shows.
All right, so Flash and Arrow are hour-long episodes, 40 like 45 minutes, 52, whatever it is. There's like 22 episodes in each season.
Right.
That's a lot of fucking time.
He might have started earlier, but I know that like every time I've went on Xbox, he's been on Netflix. So I know that 90% of it was in the last. I wanted
to play Halo with him, but I figured he said he was having family over the weekend, so I just didn't pass through him.
No, he's been just devouring. And he said at one point he said he couldn't come out because he had family over, and I was like, dude, you're on Netflix. Yeah. Now your Xbox is in your basement. There's no fucking way your family would like, because he had like family staying like overnight with him. There's no way your family with a baby was in down there watching Arrow with you. Get the fuck. Like,
yeah, he's full of shit.
He's so full of. Well, I abused him pretty badly, so he's mad at me.
He sent me a message like on Saturday.
Yeah, he did the same thing.
He's like, "Oh, I'll catch up with you guys."
This is the thing that pisses me off about Jay is he'll say that, and then he sent me a message later that night, and he goes, "Hey, what's going on?
What's crack-a-lacking?"
And I said, "I'm watching football. If you want to party, let's do it." And he never wrote back. Yeah, like, don't write me unless you want to hang out.
Like I figured, big Notre Dame guy.
Yeah. He wasn't watching, by the way.
He was watching Netflix.
Yeah, because he said to me, because that's what I said. I go, I'm watching the Notre Dame game. If you want to party, let me know. And he just said, yeah, me too. Before I said, you want to party? He said, yeah, me too. And then I said, yeah, if you want to party, let me know. And then he never wrote me back. And then I saw him on Netflix. I was like, I watched the Notre Dame game. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, we should have had Eric on. I fucked up.
Why? He say he could?
Well, no, he was like, he just commented on our Facebook, said we had a good setup. They plan on doing this for their 2-year next year.
Is he on the live stream?
He was in him for a little while, so he had to go.
So yeah, we'll get him next week. I don't know. If we weren't recording this on a Tuesday, like the problems that come with having a guest, I'm not like the one thing I will not do is stay up till midnight to fix this anymore. There's no way.
Also, another thing we've been great at is always comes out on Wednesday.
Yeah. Never not done it. I mean, once we decided it was Wednesdays, which was, I don't know, 10 episodes in, we did it before. What did we do before that? Tuesdays?
No, it was always Wednesday. I think so.
I thought we had a different day.
I think our first one came out on Friday.
Yeah, after that, though, I thought we planned for like Tuesdays, and then we changed it to Wednesdays to give Chad another day.
I don't know.
I want to say that's a fact, but I'm not going to say it's a fact. I want to say we did Tuesdays, and then we said like, well, Chad needs more time, so we'll do it on Wednesday. And then Chad went from producing it on Mondays to just producing it on Tuesdays.
How many years?
He never spent more than a night.
How many years do you think we took off our life by drinking the amount of bourbon that we drank?
I don't even know.
Like, thank God. Remember the stat? We had a stat last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was it like 94 gallons or something?
I don't know. It was
something ridiculous.
I don't want to know.
Because we did the math.
I seriously don't want to know.
We're happy to announce that we've cut that down. Like, we're still 8-bit bourbon.
Yeah.
But we just don't.
I'd like to get into some bourbon, but like, there's no reason to ever. Well, the thing is now, like, I know we could split a 175, and I would have half of that for 2 weeks. Like before we it would be gone by Saturday night.
I mean, ridiculous. I did get pretty drunk last episode, but I had that 175 for like 2.5 weeks, which usually it would go in like a weekend.
Yeah, no, we literally like there were weekends. Most of the time, it would last the whole weekend and like a couple days. But there were times where we would need more booze. We would record on Friday night. We need more booze by Saturday night. That is ridiculous.
Fuck what's wrong with
that's us? A 175 of Makers. I could never do that again ever.
It's so bad for us.
It's awful.
Like I'm glad. Like I love bourbon. I'm kind of glad.
The only reason we did it was because it just made so much financial sense. Like,
yeah,
there's this place near us where you could get a 175 for 50, and like if you go to most places and you get a 750, a liter,
it's like 45.
It's like almost 50. So it's like you're basically getting like almost a free fucking 750 of Makers. So we would just do that, and what we should have done is not drink all of it.
Yeah.
Do you know that I have?
We should have just put in little like sample bottles, like shampoo bottles, and be like, "This is what we get one day."
Yeah, exactly. I have like 20 Makers 175s in my basement. Someday I'm gonna do something with them. I don't know what,
but
like a bar thing.
8-bit beer wouldn't have sounded as good. You and Chad, you guys are quite the beer connoisseurs.
You know what? I'm a real douchebag when it comes to beer, wine, and liquor. I just love it all.
No, but you guys really like go out of your way to try everything and like try crazy. You guys are drinking.
Well, the thing with beer is
jalapeno beer, pickle beer.
The thing with beer is it's easier. Because like I love to try liquors and I love to try wines. Actually, I try a shitload of wines, but liquors is harder because it's like the investment is $60 every time. Or like the investment in beer is $10.
You can spend $14 on a 6-pack and get stuck with a shitty 6-pack.
Yeah, but it's $14, and that's like the high end. If you spend 14, $15 on a 6-pack, it's probably gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but
Like
probably.
I don't know how you guys drink the habanero and
I love the habanero beer.
jalapeno shit.
The jalapeno one, I like. The habanero one, I love.
It just kills your stomach. It murders it.
I don't know. It's really good.
It is. It's not bad, but it just fucking kills you.
Oh, it's good stuff.
What about a Hellburger with a habanero beer?
I would do it. I would do it in a second.
I think I say habanero wrong. I feel like I say it different every time. Adam.
Yeah. So as you can see, we've got a lot of show notes. If you're watching on YouTube,
I do have some show notes.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see I'm really using my. Well, we haven't actually talked about anything. The only reason we went to TV shows is because I had to get beer.
Yeah, and I did a poor job of talking.
I wasn't here, so I'll never know.
I think I went from like talking about I'm going to explain my reasons, and I just went, I fucking hate Jessica Jones. It wasn't a long conversation.
Yeah, back to the podcast in general. The one thing I was going to say about equipment, which is important, is that so this is two kind of topics in one, but one of the cool things about doing the podcast is that it opens up other avenues of doing stuff. And like, you might be a podcaster, heart and soul, and there's a lot of people like that. They like to talk, they like to get their opinions out there, chat with other people. But what it does is when you get the equipment, when you get the Scarlett preamp with the really nice mics, you realize like, holy shit, I've got 80% of what I need to do a sick Twitch and a sick YouTube and like all this different stuff. And all the equipment is pretty much shared. Like, you might want to get an Elgato so you can make it a little better, though. You don't, you
could just use an iPhone like that one guy.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I would love to see his videos. He didn't have a link.
It actually sounds amazing.
It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I just don't get it.
But
like pointing a camera to a TV and recording it.
I love that guy. It's actually a good gimmick where he probably gets a lot of views. But the point is like, you can expand it.
12-year-old kid,
definitely
making fun of him.
You could expand it into like all this different stuff, and that's a very cool part of it. But yeah, when you get into it, it's like you meet other people that do stuff. You kind of follow other people, and you realize like, if you really want to do it, you really have to expand your skill base too. Because like, for example, if you want to do a Twitch stream, if you want to do it right, you want to have an Elgato to capture it. You want to have software such that you can add the right like graphics and annotation. So that means you need to learn Photoshop so that you can make a logo.
PC, because doing it on a Mac sucks.
Yeah, that is definitely true. So you want to be able to learn Photoshop so that you can add a logo and all of the stuff that you want. Maybe you want to put your camera in like a, some sort of graphical box or whatever you want to do. Then you realize you need to learn video editing software if you want to really post-produce and post it to YouTube. So it's a really good rabbit hole to get down, because there's just a lot of skills that are good, career-wise maybe, but just hobby-wise, it just makes a lot of fun. Because now what can you do? You can do home movies. You can do all sorts of cool stuff.
Sex tapes.
Obviously, although using these microphones would be weird because I think they're made to be used up close.
Well, that's why we have two of them.
That's true. We might just two more, we'd be all set. It's like a four-post bed.
A lot of clapping.
Excuse me.
That's the best thing about our mics. If you got a cough, there's no escaping it. Mm-hmm. It's coming. It's getting shoved down that thing.
But what's good about them is that it does block out most of it. Like when we used to use Chad's mics, they literally like you couldn't. Like if Spunky was walking around on the carpet, you'd hear it.
Yeah.
Because they're made to do that. That's the whole point of those mics, which is what is it? Dynamic versus whatever. I don't know.
Neither. Oh, condenser. Yeah. I was barely paying attention. I got that right.
Yeah. That's why you were able to get it.
Yeah.
If you thought about it, you had no chance.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how your brain works sometimes. Okay, well, let's talk about this. Christmas gifts. What are you getting for Christmas?
Me and you are getting the same fucking things.
It was really funny. Adam texted me. He goes, I'm thinking about getting A50s for Christmas. I was like, me fucking too.
Yeah, did you say you were going to get them last year? Or
I was going to get them last year, yeah. I was going to get a headset last year. Those were the front runner. Okay.
My only problem is the mix amp. I don't want the mix amp.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of think I should have went A40s.
Okay, so, the A40s aren't wireless though, right?
No.
So, okay, so there's a couple things that I have thought here. The reason that I didn't get them last Christmas was because I said basically,
You took a stand on this.
yeah, I wanted to get truly wireless headphones. Now, I wanted wait, let me rephrase.
Didn't quite work out.
I wanted truly wireless headphones that worked for Xbox One and PS4. There are truly wireless headphones for Xbox One. They're only one brand, and it's the Turtle Beach, whatever. And they're fine. They're not as good sound. Turtle Beach are a lot better than they used to be. The sound quality's fine. It's not as good as the A50s. The problem is I don't think they work nearly as well with the PS4. So like to me, that's kind of rules it out immediately. So that's why I didn't get those. The A50s are truly wireless for both, except the fact that you have to plug in the microphone to the Xbox controller, which is so fucking annoying because it's just a software thing that Microsoft obviously gave Turtle Beach a deal. It's totally capable of doing it. It just doesn't allow them to do it. What did I say?
Turtle Beach.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they gave that to Turtle Beach as a exclusive thing.
So you're not talking about the A50s?
No, I'm saying they gave that deal so that they could be truly wireless to Turtle Beach, where Astro has to use a cable because they didn't give it to them.
Sorry.
And it's just annoying because it's like the whole point of a truly wireless system is I want to be able to put my fucking controller down. So there was a couple things that I could have gone with a PS4 one, but the thing is the A50s are truly wireless for PS4. So it fills that void while still being kind of good enough for Xbox One, I guess. The other thing is this is my third pair of $300 headphones. I have the fucking Beats Studio.
Okay.
I have the Grotto. I can't remember what the model number is. And now I have these. But the thing is, so the other thought that I had was I could add a mic using kind of a daisy chain like you do for when you want to Twitch with a mic and stuff. You can get that and daisy chain it. But number one, it would be even more annoying for obvious reasons because there's more cables and shit. And number two, it wouldn't have surround sound. So that's part of the reason I wanted them.
I don't look for like the sound that other people look for when they're wearing headphones. Like I wear my headphones and like lately, like I think I always feel like my soundbar will be too loud and might come back into my headset. So I mute it and I just use like the stuff off my current headset. My current headset isn't great, but I don't know. I'm just not a sound guy. So
yeah, I kind of am. I kind of went down that rabbit hole when I got the Grottos. Grottos are like a $300 pair of Grottos are like $1,000 to plus set of anything else. Like they're like one of the premier headphone makers.
Although what I can say is like I have these Sony, like these are like recording headphones. I can absolutely tell a difference when I wear these, like listening to music compared to like the Bose,
right?
Because these don't sound good like listening to music, but they sound great when you're trying to like when I'm like editing or something. They sound great. They do the thing they're supposed to do correctly. The other stuff they just don't do good.
Well, that's another thing with
and these ones are expensive headphones. They're just not made for like music or anything.
Yeah, that's another thing with Grotto and the A40, I think, is that they're actually open back. They're open headphone, the open back. I can't remember what it's called, but the idea is that it lets sound out and it gives you a different like sound stage to what you're listening to, and a lot of people prefer it to the closed earphones. The problem is that it lets sound out of your headphones, which is, if you're like, the whole point sometimes of headphones is you want to be able to like be quiet playing a game and still listen at max volume. But I am excited about these because I like that, like, you flip up the mic, it mutes it. That's a really cool feature. Also, I can just remove that shit if I want to like watch a movie with headphones on.
Everything's detachable, right? So we don't even have to use that plug.
Right. You can just get rid of it because you don't need the mic.
We can just buy like a 3.5, right? So
I don't even think you need that. You can listen.
I mean, like, if you don't want to use like that adapter thing, you just plug something directly in your controller.
Yep. But I was gonna say, like, if you want to watch a movie, you don't need a mic at all.
Yeah.
So you don't need to have the controller in your hands, which is because that's half the battle for me. Is like, I don't know, maybe I want to watch a TV show or a movie with headphones on. You know,
my problem is with the mix amp is now I'm gonna have to split my optical, leaving my Xbox One to my soundbar and to the mix amp.
See, I'm not using optical, so it doesn't matter to me.
It's just gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what the sound or the mix amp is. It's only optical.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean you can? Yeah, I don't know. So I'm not sure how it works.
No, the mix amp plugs optical. That's it. I believe.
You gotta look at your mic.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say the mix amp plugs only optical because I think Troutman has a pair of A50s
Yeah.
It said that. I think that's what he said it does.
Yeah. See,
So
for
I
me,
have to
I'm
split
just
it
going to use the mix amp because I like the idea of being able to kind of turn up the game volume, turn
Yeah.
down the the chat volume. But
Well,
I mean, it's not a must have
I had-
thing if you can get because it's annoying for you.
If I
It's not
didn't
a
have
must have.
if I didn't have
thing.
the sound bar I had, and I was just playing
Yeah.
my Xbox to my TV speakers, it wouldn't be a problem at all. It'd be like,
Sure.
wow, this sounds amazing because you're getting like the Dolby 7.0.
Yep.
And it's great. But like now I have to split my optical out that I already have a splitter on it for my PS4 and my Xbox. So now I have to change that. It's going to be annoying.
I still have slight hopes that they'll change the software to just work with the fucking A50s because it's totally a software thing.
Yeah.
I truly believe that they could fix it, no problem.
They should. I don't understand why they wouldn't. I mean, you have the high end controller. Why not aim for like the high end headphones?
Yeah,
make the system magical.
It's really weird that it's so frustrating to me though. But that being said, the reason that I'm willing to make this sacrifice now is because I've just given up on that happening.
Yeah,
because it's been. I mean, what are we 2 years into this life cycle? Like, I just don't see it happening at this point, which sucks. But what are you gonna do?
I don't know, and I actually don't know the name of the brand for headphones, but it's one of the better headphones I've ever had for using.
Is it Xbox? Is it like Microsoft ones?
No, I just because I was having problems with trying to record chat audio with the Elgato, and I thought it was like my headphones, so I went out and just bought like a $40 pair of headphones from GameStop, but it was actually because Amazon sent me the wrong piece.
Interesting.
And I'm pretty satisfied with them. They seem fine.
Yeah, you probably should have returned them.
Yeah, I should have. But well, the problem is I got those when I was testing them out. I let Pun use my the official Xbox ones, and he broke them.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did he do that?
I don't know.
Doesn't he have headphones?
He's like, these aren't working that right. And I was like, well, they're fine when I give them to you. And he's like, I didn't do anything to him.
Sounds
like you did.
Sounds like he just leaned back on the wire and ripped it. Like,
definitely happened.
That's definitely what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because that's
how do you break them?
He also had 2 other pairs of headphones that he broke.
Yeah.
At least 2.
You plug them in, it's just all crackly and shit.
Yeah, that's
definitely something.
That's a wire. Yeah, he totally. He this is what he did. He got stoned. He leaned back in the recliner
and ripped them.
Just the wire just ripped out.
Yeah.
God bless.
But I gave Jay my, since I have 2 controllers, the jack plugs directly into them. I just gave Jay the plug thing in case he ever gets a headphone. Right.
Like the mixer thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our Christmas.
I also got actually for Christmas, since my mom's fucking crazy. She spends too much money on me, and I never want anything. Since she bought me like, I don't know, a certain amount in gift cards for Amazon. And the Astros were actually like $75 off Friday. It's Black Friday. Thursday?
I think they might still be, but anyway.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. So I downloaded some games on the PS4 and I ran out of room, so I had her buy me a 1 terabyte hard drive for my PS4 that I gotta swap out. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be easy. Bless. Yeah, but my problem is I don't know if I can I don't have a thumbstick, so I don't know how I'm gonna get the PS4 software. Because you gotta like plug it in.
Oh, well, you're just gonna have to get a thumbstick.
Yeah, but will I be able to do it with Mac?
I don't know what the process is.
Me either.
But probably.
Because every time, like with the Xbox, you can download like wallpapers, put them on an external or a thumbstick, plug it in, and pull them off. And it will not let me do it because I put them on a Mac. It will not recognize the fucking.
Yeah, there's a certain file format that I can't think of what it is right now that I used to put my thumbsticks as so that I could use it on Windows and Mac. Because I was using a boot camp version of Mac. The only problem is that I think that they still have like a max file size, which is really annoying. So like you can only have files up to like 4 gigs, so you couldn't move like a game or something across.
Like I was so excited to put the 8-bit Bourbon logo as the wallpaper on my Xbox, put the file on my external, plug my external in, did all the things, and it's just not there.
You should really just boot camp Windows 10.
Yeah, I don't think I have enough room on this thing though.
Yeah, it's hard to fit on a laptop.
Yeah, especially a Solid State one, an early Solid State one that has like, I think it's like 60 gigs, maybe. 80
I was gonna say, speaking of which, I was just looking on the Black Friday deals, and there's a 500 gig. Was it 500 gigs? No, not that big. Or was it?
It was big.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was 500 gigs. There's a 500 gig solid state drive by Samsung, and it was $140 or something. Like that's crazy cheap. I might buy one and like figure out what to do with it after.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
sell it.
Yeah, or that. I mean, I'll never do that, but
No.
sounds like a nice idea.
That's for like PC, right?
What's that?
That's like a PC thing.
Oh yeah, I think it's an internal version.
Can you have like a solid state and still have a disk drive?
Well, I mean, you definitely can because Mac has a thing called a hybrid drive, and that's what my new Xbox is a hybrid drive. So it's a smaller SSD matched with a bigger spinning drive. And the idea is that if you put like the operating system and your file system on the solid state, everything's really snappy and you can pull outside files when you need them. And it, ideally, obviously you'd have a huge solid state, but it's really expensive. So that does like gets you like 70% of the way there because the operating system's everything. I don't know if you can, I shouldn't say if you can. I guess what you would do if you did it yourself is just have a solid state drive with your operating system and then like your external. The problem is if you have an external, it has certain like limitations to it. You can't install games and stuff.
Okay.
But there's ways around that, which I've done. You could trick it into thinking that it's an internal. But if you get an internal, you could just have like your operating system on one and then your other drive, you could install games to. So it's basically the same thing as a hybrid drive.
Computers are so dumb. You trick them to do anything.
Yeah.
By the way, Laurel's been playing Call of Duty for like 2.5 hours now.
Yeah, she doesn't fuck around.
She was in my squad earlier. She's doing really well.
Yeah, she wasn't bad at Halo.
She never played hardcore before. The first one was a little awakening, but the second one she played great. Third one she played great.
Yeah, here's the tip. Don't run around corners.
Yeah,
or you're dead.
That's what I thought. I was like, just take your time.
That actually fits her playstyle though. She doesn't like to run around and like be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Yeah, so I guess
aggressive.
Like, I think I've talked about this before. Like I will always wish in like games if you sit still for like more than like 5 seconds, if you don't have like a sniper rifle equipped, you immediately die. Like especially in like Call of Duty. So it's like just doesn't allow people to camp. Apparently, there's the ghost perk in Call of Duty where it hides you from UAVs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're sitting still, you pop up on the map. Which
cool.
is kind of cool. So it's like just like if somebody's camping, it shows them.
Yeah, that's cool.
People are bitching about it. I was like, "Fuck you."
One thing I like about Halo is like that problem basically takes care of itself.
Yeah,
like,
unless you play SWAT.
You can be a douche and like sit in the corner with a shotgun, but you have to find a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find a good place to be. You have to really be like careful, and the levels are small.
Yeah.
And it just kind of takes care of itself. You're not gonna. In other words, you're not gonna like do really well.
Well, my thing is, if you're camping, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, but in Call of Duty, it's harder because it's big maps. That's the nature of the game. And like number one, you have to run a longer way to try to get to the guy.
Yeah.
Number two, it's just much more beneficial to do,
But usually there's that thing, like if you get a kill, if you're camping in Call of Duty, your time is running out. Like you start getting scared.
I mean, somebody's gonna come for
people
you,
are gonna start bombing grenades at you or do whatever.
Yeah. But that being said, I've seen people actually like put up some big scores doing that. Especially in a team setting where you can kind of whatever.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing in Call of Duty is map control. Once you start controlling the map, the game's over.
Yeah. Let's talk a little gaming since it's a gaming podcast.
Well, I just want to
smack that microphone.
Yeah, I wanted to smack that mic. I wanted to talk about. Did you buy any games on?
You might want to move that back a little. Your cover.
Am I? Oh,
I think it's touching. No, I did not.
All right, so I bought 3. I bought both Wolfensteins.
Interesting.
Which I'm pissed about because I didn't want. We don't have to get into it, but I've wanted these games for a while. They kept on going on sale on Xbox Live. I don't even know what the store is called now. What the fuck is the store called?
Xbox Store.
Yeah. Okay. So they kept on going on sale on the Xbox Store. They would be like $19 for the whole set. Like the main game is $60, expansion's $20. So you used to be able to get it like at a good deal. And I just never bought them when they were on sale. So Thursday night or Friday night, one of the nights, Sony starts their flash sales and fucking Wolfenstein's on sale. It's like $6 for one, $6 for the other. I was like, fuck. Like, I really want to play these on Xbox. I do not want to use the PS4 controller. And I looked on Xbox, not on sale. It's like, fuck it, I'll buy it. I have like a $20 gift card on PSN. So I bought them, and I've got the order 1886 for $10.
Ew.
Well, it's $10.
Yeah.
Well, you can rent it for like $4, so I figured it's a good deal.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with it.
I would never pay full price for it. So $10. I got 3 games for $25.
There's never been a AAA title that dropped further in price quicker than that game.
So Saturday morning rolls along, turn on my Xbox, go to the store, check out the sales. Fucking Wolfenstein, both of them, the bundle on sale for $13.
So basically the same price.
Yeah. And which is like, I don't care, except for first person shooters, the PlayStation 4 controller is so fucking bad. Still, I fucking hate it. And I don't know if it got worse since I'm using an Elite controller, but it's bad. Like, I'm miserable playing it.
Yeah, I don't know how bad it is.
I fucking hate it.
I think it's more that you're just really used to the Xbox controller.
I hate those analog sticks so fucking much. I don't understand how anybody thinks they're good.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as you say it is. But
like when we were playing Rocket League on Friday night, no problem with PS4 controller. I thought it was great. Feels great. It's fun to use. It's fine. It's comfortable. Playing Wolfenstein Saturday night, just fucking miserable with it. Absolutely miserable with it. Like, I hate it. Like, it's so hard to aim and move. Like,
when you're not using offset analogs, it's hard because that's what we're used to from 10 years of gaming. Even since Nintendo 64 had offset analogs, kind of. But it's not kind of, definitely.
Like I was okay. I think I was okay with The Last of Us. I don't remember ever bitching about the controller in Last of Us, but it kind of makes me nervous about like Uncharted 4, just having to use that controller.
Yeah, I'm pretty much fine with it outside of anything but first person shooters, just because I'm not used to it.
It's just so bad. I don't understand how, like, you guys played Destiny on it.
Yeah, I never really had a big problem. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it as much as playing on an Xbox One controller. Yeah. But I didn't think it was horrible.
And now that I've been using like the extended,
and like I play multiplayer too,
like the extended thumbsticks on the Elite controller. I don't know.
Well, that's another thing that, like,
I can't go back.
That's another thing that, like, if you're gonna get used to that, you're not gonna be. Not only are you not gonna be used to the PS4 controller, you're not gonna be used to any controller. Mm-hmm. So like that's a decision that you make.
Like in the PS4, like the analogs, they feel like they stick out less than what the normal Xbox One does.
Yeah,
like they're tiny. But the problem is, like, the whole controller feels great. Like I said, like Rocket League the other night was awesome. And then Wolfenstein was like, it was like I was using a totally different controller.
Yeah.
Just miserable with it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But Wolfenstein, cool ass game. Really glad I got it. It reminds me of like an old, like,
wooden ship.
Yeah, an old wooden ship. But it's kind of like Halo. Like I loved like the first person games. Like, it doesn't matter if you're zoomed in or you're just shooting from the hip. It's like all the same accuracy. They're fun. Like, it's just a fun game. It's violent. It's bloody. It's cool. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah, I bought nothing. I thought about buying the King's Quest series. I just knew I wouldn't play it. Well, I'm a massive King's Quest fan, but
new one's free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I know. I might try it out. I just like I just know it's like a slow moving adventure game, which is great, and I have no problem with that. But I know, like, as soon as I'm like, well, I don't know where to go next, I'm just gonna be like, fuck this.
Yeah, I'll probably never play it.
The one thing I thought about doing was buying the Destiny.
Yeah, the Taken King. I kept my eye on that was legendary pack, whatever it's called, where you get, I think it's like $60 right now. You get everything.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's been saying it's phenomenal.
Sounds awesome.
Now, not phenomenal might not be the right word. It's really good now.
Yeah, I was keeping my eye on anything like $35 and below. I would have bought it, but it never got to the point. I think Taken King actually got down to $35, but not the bundle I was looking for.
The Bundaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really look at them closely, to be honest, because I knew I wouldn't play anything. I've already got Halo 5, and now that we're like kind of sort of playing Rocket League, even though we've never played online, I haven't played online.
I've been desperately wanting to play more of both of them.
I know, me too.
I hate not. I just won't. I
haven't played Halo.
I will not play Halo without you guys.
Jesus, I haven't played Halo since last time we played. When was that?
Last Monday.
Something like that's amazing.
I keep track of it because we usually, like, all four of us play on Sunday and Monday nights.
Yeah,
I look forward to those nights. And then you guys had a soccer game last night, so you fucked me.
Yeah, I haven't touched it. God damn it! I just remembered I have to upload the podcast.
I played Rumble Rockets. That wasn't that fun.
Hey, you know what? I did play that once. So I take it back. I have played it.
Some of the most. It's so stressful. It's too stressful for me.
You know, I didn't mind it. Because I didn't really give a shit because it's just a stupid game.
No, it just sucks when you're when you're tied for like first and you both have 20 kills and you have to get like 5 first.
Well, here's a tip because I figured out a really cheap way to do really well in that because it was the one map that I played. It's what's the map where you have the 2 bases where there's a huge like valley in the middle and there's the rocket on one side and the sniper on the other and you like jump across.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You know how there's like the big lift?
Yeah.
Just sit on the lift and literally go up and down and shoot people. That's all I did the entire game. And nobody could hit me because and then when someone would see me, I would hold L, which freezes you in the air, and shoot down at them. And like, it was so fucking cheap, dude. It was
There's
great.
No wall you can hit behind?
No. Well, if the person gets you while you're going down, it's totally possible to kill you. But like, it's not impossible to kill you, but it's really fucking hard because you're just popping up and down. And as soon as they see you, they're like, well, he's going down or he's going up. And by the time people figure it out, you're already fucking 12, 15 kills in, you know?
Must be. Yeah, I never got that map. I always got the same
It was really cheap. I was thinking to myself, I just taught all 9 of these people how to be a real douchebag in this game time, whatever, however many people there are. Because that's the whole point. It's like rockets, you want to hit the floor.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give people a chance to do that to you. How do you feel about getting us a couple more beers?
You want me to get you? I can get them. You got something?
I mean, I don't mind getting them.
I'll get them.
Unless if you want to talk to the microphone.
I got nothing to say to the microphone.
All right, I'll talk a little Rocket League then. Okay. All right, well, let's start with this because I know
how awesome I was.
I know you're going to want to talk about Rocket League. Yeah, we were all pretty amazing. One of the things with Rocket League, that this is just a complete aside. We'll go back to the real Rocket League talk, but Rocket League has a similar thing to a lot of games, but Bloodborne was the one that I ran into it last, where so the new systems they have, what's the word for it? Like fast on, like quick launch stuff where it like resume. That's what I'm looking for. So it'll, if you were playing a game and you shut the console down, it'll resume the game if you don't shut it all the way down. And I noticed that we were just playing bots because on Black Friday, that's when people came over to my house. We were going to play a bunch of Rocket League online and we couldn't download the patches and it didn't matter anyway, because PSN was just fucking down like the whole night. We couldn't get anything. We were getting so mad. We're like, it's going really slow. And then finally we just figured out nothing was working. So even if we had the patches, I don't think we could play it online. But the point is, excuse me, is that if you go to, sleep your PS4 and then you go to resume it and you were playing single player Rocket League, the AI just shits the bed until you close the app and launch it again. So like I launched the app and the computer was just missing every face off and I was just scoring every time. And that happened in Bloodborne once to me, where I was actually house sitting for my brother, and thank you. And I went to a boss. I remember thinking like, there was one boss that was supposed to be like impossible, and I whooped his ass the first time so bad. And I was like, that's really weird, because I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. I struggled versus every boss before that. And then I read a thing about like resuming and how it fucks up the AI loop. And I think that was definitely the problem. By the way, what you just missed was I was talking about, you also pulled the headphone cord out of my headphones, but I'm okay.
God damn it.
I can recover. I was just talking about Rocket League has a similar thing to a lot of games. Bloodborne is just the one that I've played, but it happens on Xbox too, where if you sleep the game, right?
Yeah.
And then you resume the game, it totally fucks up the AI loop, because when we were playing on Friday, I launched it the next day and I just like played one game, and the computer guy was just whiffing on like the pro setting, was just whiffing on every face off.
Yeah, I was wondering I wanted you to explain how you compared Rocket League to Bloodborne.
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
how,
sense.
because it fucks up the AI loop if you resume the game. Isn't that interesting?
It is weird.
It was really like, at first I was like, that's maybe he just like went for an aggressive tactic. And then I did it again and I was like, that's really weird. And then the third time I was like, all right, this is totally fucked. Like he just whiffed 3 times. The AI loop is totally fucked. That being said, it's funny because like we always knew we'd love Rocket League.
Yeah, from the little that we had played, we were both.
I'd only played half a game at Adams, but like we knew we finally actually fucking played it, and like it was everything we thought it would be. It's so good, dude.
Yeah,
it's
and like
so good.
everybody that played with us just immediately picked it up and enjoyed it.
That's what's fun about it. It's one of those games where my favorite games in the world, where actually Halo's really not one of these, but my favorite games in the world are ones that are easy to pick up but hard to master.
Yeah.
You know, like it still has I think Rocket League has a super high ceiling, but you can be like pretty good if you're just like a crafty, smart person, you know, like if you have a pretty good strategy, in other words.
There's just a couple.
It's not twitchy, but it can be.
Yeah, there's a couple skills you just need to like hone down, and like you can be like an adequate player.
Yeah, you can be like pretty decent. Now, that being said, there are people out there. That's what this is the other half to the part of games that I love is that like if you're really, really good at it, you're gonna whoop that adequate player's ass.
Yeah, like,
and if we play online, we're gonna get destroyed.
Well,
at first, you know, we'll grow into it.
I've played, they match you up pretty well.
Oh yeah, that's also true. I'm sure if we played our first online game,
that's very dependent on how many people are still playing. Like if only the good people are still playing, then we're fucked.
Yeah, that's always a problem. Like when I started playing NBA Jam on Fire Edition a little bit, I realized I was like 95% of these people are playing on Xbox 360, which means they've played 1,000 games.
Yeah, you've been playing that a lot lately.
Yeah, that's really the only game that I've played last week.
Whenever I see you playing, I'm like, who the fuck is he playing with?
I played with Nick a little bit, and that was pretty much it.
No, I think you were just by yourself.
Oh, that could have been it too.
Yeah, I get a little jelly.
I gotta tell you that I'm pretty good at that game.
Yeah, no, you're very good. You're good. You're good at
well,
defense.
that night we played wasn't the best projection of that skill, but
no, we played pretty well for how drunk I was.
That's also true. I forgot about that. I was actually pretty drunk too. Yeah, but that game's awesome, except for one thing, which I don't even want to get into because no one gives a fuck because they probably don't play it. But there's a major flaw in that game that they've never patched out, and it's like it's game ruining, and it just really frustrates me that they haven't fixed it yet.
LeBron doesn't miss.
No, I'm fine with that. It's that if you're playing single player and you hammer the left bumper, your computer player will just shove everyone on the court and you cannot escape them. And like, it's the most unfair fucking thing ever. And those are all the people that have like 85% win percentages, or that's probably high, but they're all people that do that. And it's the biggest horseshit ever. Every time you play someone 2-on-2, I'm always like, fuck yes. Like I'm going to whoop this person's ass. But when you play 1-on-2, it's really hard because the AI computer player is too good if you know how to play with them.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
That's the problem. And you can't get away from them. Like if you run, you know, what do they call it? Running away from a crocodile, serpentine.
Oh yeah, serpentine. You gotta run serpentine.
They don't like, they just follow you perfectly. So you have to pass it, and that sets up the human player to be able to just shove the other. Whatever. I'm not going to get too deep into it.
Don't worry about it.
I figured out a couple strategies though to minimize it. It's still really fucking hard, but one is just anybody out there, the one person who's listening that plays NBA Jam on Fire Edition. If they're a person who hammers the left bumper, which has the person shove you, the most annoying part about it is right off the inbounds. Take the inbounds. Don't run forward, but don't run back either, which you're going to run back normally because otherwise you'll die. And immediately hit B. Not turbo B, regular B.
It's like a shot?
It's a spin move, and the spin move beats the shove every time.
It's like rock, paper, scissors, paper, base, rock.
Exactly. Now, the turbo B beats the steal every time. So you have to, but the computer, if they're doing the cheap tactic that I'm talking about, will shove every time. So if you do a spin move, it's not, by the way, it's not a game breaker, because here's another fun fact about that. If you do that spin move, you beat them badly. They shove, they miss you. You run down. If you're a 3-point shooter, you shoot the 3. They will come off screen and block you sometimes. It's fucking horseshit. But once you get by them, it opens up the whole offense. So like it makes it a little bit easier, but whatever. That being said, as much as I hate that, there's very few games that are more rewarding to win, and that game is so much fucking fun.
Oh, do we want to talk about how Sony wouldn't acknowledge their blackout or their Black Friday blackout?
I didn't know that they did. Right, I thought they tweeted about it.
They did, but they wouldn't acknowledge. I guess they wouldn't acknowledge all the problems that were going on.
Oh yeah.
So did you talk about how we couldn't download anything Friday night?
Yep.
Okay. So people were bitching about it, and Sony came out and said everything's like fine.
Because we thought it was slow downloads, but it was really just PSN was down.
Yeah, PSN was down on Black Friday, and Sony was like, no, we're good. And people were like, no, you're not. And like they're like, yeah, we are. And they sent out like this picture there was like one thing that was bad. No, there was one somebody like what's that one website? It's like psnisdown.com or something like that. The only thing that worked was PS Now, which is kind of cool, I guess, if you're paying a subscriber. You know, if you're paying monthly, you can still play your games.
There's a very obvious reason why that was up. Just nobody's using it.
Yo, definitely.
But anyway,
but I don't know. It's funny. It sucks. I guess.
Well,
and I guess they ended up saying it was a routine maintenance thing. If that's true. If that's true, it's poorly timed.
Yeah,
routine maintenance. Because it was taking like 10 hours for you to download.
That reminds me of when was it Lizard Squad or Lizard whatever? They said that they hacked Xbox Live and PSN on Christmas Day. I have a feeling that they didn't do a goddamn thing. They just knew that shit would go down.
I just don't think Xbox would, though.
I don't know. It does. I mean, it's Christmas Day. You know, it's the first Christmas of Xbox. It's just interesting to me, like, the fact that they picked Christmas is not because, like, hey, they want to ruin everyone's Christmas. It's because they don't have the fucking technical ability to take down those systems on any other day but Christmas. That's my point. Now, if you told me Anonymous, because they seem to do more professional things, maybe I could believe it. But I really think they were like, guys, let's talk about this. They're probably going to go down anyway. We'll throw in a denial of service and see if we can fuck them up even worse. You know, like I'd love to see if they could do that on a Tuesday in fucking March. See if they could take down both systems. There's no way. Because why haven't they done it since then?
I don't know. They got the big 13-year-old hacker. Got like 15,
that was so funny.
Like 15 years in jail. So he's like fucking like 16.
Yeah, that's fucked up. But whatever.
Fuck him.
We won't get into politics.
See if he likes the BBC.
Oh, Jesus.
So you do know what it means.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
I know what it means.
I was just curious. I
grew up on the internet.
I keep on hearing it. I figured like nobody knows what it means. I think it's hilarious.
I'm not going to comment on it.
And don't.
What else you got?
What else do we got?
But yes, Rocket League. Speaking of which, add us on PSN, and we would love to play some Rocket League.
Yeah, we were supposed to do a Rocket League tournament that I passed off to Ivan and his friends because they're very good, but I haven't heard anything more about the Rocket League tournament. So
I gotta tell you, I'm feeling my Rocket League. I played a couple computer games.
We can bump Ivan.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about that tournament. I just meant playing in general.
All right.
I'm sure we'll get our asses kicked in that tournament.
See, what else do I got here? I bitched about the PS4 controller. All right, so this one's.
I don't know about the bitching about the PS4. I can't agree on that.
All right, no, that's fine. Like I understand.
I have to say as well, the one advantage that the PS4 controller has over the Xbox controller,
other than the battery life,
other than the D-pad, is the fact that it feels way more high quality out of the box. Now the Elite controller feels better than the PS4 controller, but the biggest problem with the regular Xbox controller is that it doesn't have any grip on it, and it's stupid that they didn't do that.
PS4 doesn't have grip, does it?
Yeah, it does. It has a different material on the back. I mean, it's not like rubber, but it's a different material.
My problem is using the Elite controller, and now everything sucks that I touch.
Yeah. Well, you're an Xbox elitist fanboy. You like how I use Elite there?
Yeah, that's nice. Good pun.
Look at Spunky. Look how pissed he is.
So this one is news. It's not like an official segment, but we do this every now and then. News that is not news. DOA Extreme 3 not coming to US.
I'm not surprised by this.
Okay. So they announced this. I forget the people that make it. Namco? Shit, I don't remember who it was.
Fuck. It doesn't matter.
So they announced that they're only going to sell it in Japan. And they said it's because like the marketing thing, like people don't buy this type of game in the US, so we're going to sell it here. People are outraged. This is how horrible the internet and gamers are. People are outraged that this game is not coming out, and they're blaming censorship. All right, so if this game did come out, you know what would happen? People would be like, "This is the most sexist thing that's ever hit shelves."
I mean,
now that it's not coming out, people are like, "This is bullshit. This is fucking censorship. They should be able to release whatever they want."
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you always get the vocal minority.
But what the fuck? Stuff. This company is so fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, for me, it's like you can't release this game in the US because with all the shit going on right now, with like
Obama,
with like what is it, Gamergate and all that shit, like this would just, fair or not, get pounded into the ground about being sexist. Like there's like ridiculous topics
Like
about like not having a female character in every video game.
This has like a dozen female characters.
Yeah, this is that's true. This is the post Linkle world. Okay, so
what if Linkle made an appearance in this?
When you're in the post Linkle world, you just can't release that game in the US. I would love if they did. They just said, "Fuck all you guys."
I'm gonna import it.
Well, the beautiful part is the new systems, they don't have any sort of region restrictions.
There's no region lock, so we're good. I'm gonna import it.
Absolutely should.
And we're gonna make let's plays. I'm gonna make like a I'm gonna make a daily diary.
I'll tell you what,
of me and my girl.
I'll tell you what. Dreamcast version of that game was a good game, and I mean that 100%.
The Xbox version of it was a good volleyball game. It was fun as hell.
It's just it really is
creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I love the first trailer for this one. Looks even worse.
This one has like I never played 2. But apparently they've added like mini games to them.
Well, that's what's great about this. If you watch,
there's they're jumping on inner tubes and shit.
Yeah, if you watch the trailer for this game, the big trailer that came out, there's like no volleyball in
it. that will upset me
because the whole premise. Oh, I mean, I'm sure the whole game's volleyball, but the point is that they're not selling the volleyball aspect of it.
Yeah.
The whole premise of the game though is that you're not only playing volleyball, you're vacationing on this island.
It'd be great if
that was the same thing as the first one.
It'd be great if they just completely gave up and just used like a beach volleyball, like the big inflatable things. Not even like a real ball.
Right, exactly. Like the game, the game was like the shittiest mini game in the whole game.
They just gave up. They're like, fuck it.
I'm glad games
how do you
like
feel
that
about
exist.
that though? Like these people can't win. If it doesn't come out, it's censorship. It does come out, they're sexist.
I don't.
It's fucking crazy. Like,
I think they made.
How insane is the internet?
I think they made the right decision.
I think they absolutely made the right decision.
I think you can say
nobody's gonna buy this game.
Well, I think you can do anything on the internet, or I think you could do anything and have someone on the internet critique it. So, like, I don't know who knows, like how many people really said that. I don't fucking know.
Nobody's gonna buy that game.
But yeah,
I'm only gonna buy it because we can't have it now.
I know.
Like we weren't gonna buy it.
It'd be great if they sold like 3 million imports.
Yeah. I don't even think it's that expensive to import anything now because they're not region locked.
Yeah, I mean you just get it on eBay.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Or I think you can sign into like Amazon Japan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, that's probably true.
And just buy it. So we had a question.
Yeah, give it to me.
One question.
How far are we into this?
Pretty far. We can end on this question.
Okay.
20 minutes.
Bring it.
Okay. So the question is, I'm paraphrasing because he asked me directly. So Troutman at work wanted to know.
All right, real quick. I'm not doing anything with this second screen, right?
You are not doing anything.
Okay, because I need battery to actually put this up.
All
right, go ahead.
So Troutman wanted to know: do digital gaming and digital sales increase our buying and playing, or are we just buying more and playing less?
So he's assuming that
we see a sale,
but he's assuming that we're buying more.
Yes.
Or is that part of the question?
It's
because we're definitely buying
like
more.
Part one.
I don't think there's.
Are we buying more games now that we don't have to go to stores?
Yeah, oh yeah, I think that's 100%. I don't think there's any doubt that we're buying
more. Not only us, but
and I know I'm not talking about us because me, I don't know. Yeah, actually, even me, I think definitely. But yeah, in general, I think digital sales or everything. You don't have to get off your fat ass and go to the store. It's great.
But part two, are we playing less?
So
are we just impulse buying? Because I'm in like the in between area.
Well,
the amount of games I've bought this year on sale is ridiculous.
Well, I think the answer to that is we're playing equal or more. We're just playing each game less because we're buying more games. I think that's really the only difference is that, you know, usually you would buy 2 games that you really save up for and wait for, or not save up for, but like look forward to. And now it's like, well, I don't know, I'll fucking try X, Y, and Z, you know, I'll try Tales from the Border. Like, for example, there's times where we end up playing a shitload of games where we wouldn't have. You bought the Telltale series. We would have never played those games, I don't think, if you didn't buy that.
No.
How about Rocket League? It was free.
Yeah.
And now I could foresee us putting 50 hours into that game. So I think there are cases where you actually play more. But for every one of those, there's 2 or 3 where you buy a game that sucks and you just bought it because it was $5.
It's weird for me because like I feel like I'm buying more because they're digital. But in a weird way, like this is hard to explain. I'm playing more, but kind of playing less of what I'm buying. Does that make any sense? Like I'm buying more
Yeah.
games, playing a lot of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying
but
is
not playing them as much as maybe I should. Like
I think the total hours are going up, but I think the time per game goes way down because you don't have time for
I
every
really
game.
wanted to try Dying Light. I bought Dying Light when it was on sale for like $30. Played like 5 hours of it. It was like, all right, so that's Dying Light. I don't know if I'll ever play it again.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, like, but I still, it's nice to have the opportunity to even try them, you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty realistic with myself. For like,
I'm not realistic with myself at
I
all.
know, and it's not even realistic, which is half of it. It's also like I don't want the anchor of having to play a game. Like if I buy, like for example, I
feel no pressure.
I want to buy Fallout 4. I want to buy The Witcher, but I don't want to. I don't want to feel like I need to fucking play that game. So that's my problem.
So I have a clean conscience there.
Yeah,
I'll buy a 200-hour game, just not.
Yes and no, though, because I think that's right, but I think that's because you buy so many games.
Yeah.
If you bought one game, you would feel guilty if you didn't play it.
My most anticipated game this year was Just Cause 3. I don't know if I want to buy Just Cause 3.
Okay, a couple things. Number one, you're obviously going to buy Just Cause 3. You're obviously going to play it for many, many hours. Number two, the problem there is that your most anticipated game was Just Cause 3.
I know, but like
so many great games this year.
Well, like my second one was, I think, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Like I was after playing the first.
I don't know. I would put Fallout up there for you. You've been talking about that since forever.
Yeah, but I think I knew what to expect. But these two, I just didn't know what to expect. Because Just Cause 2, by no means was a great game, but it just became like a cult favorite. Like everybody that was playing it understood what it was and really enjoyed it, but I don't think it sold like the massive blockbuster that this one potentially could be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I really want to play Rise of Tomb Raider, and I have not even like I've had that game since November. When did the 10th? Is that when? I
have no idea.
The 11th? Is that when Fallout came out?
No idea.
So I've had the game for almost 3 weeks and never opened it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been playing Fallout.
Yeah. Fallout's great.
You're not gonna touch that game until you beat Fallout.
No, and that's why I want to play Tomb Raider next. That's why I don't know if I can.
The nice part with Tomb Raider is it's not going to be a 100-hour game. It's going to be probably like a 12-hour game or something.
Hopefully, I would prefer like 8.
It could be. I don't know.
That's why
I'm pulling that number out of my ass.
Like 8 hours is the sweet spot for me. I would love every single
150 hours is the sweet spot for you.
It's different. Like give me an open. If you say the game's open world, then we're good. I only have like 68 hours in the Fallout though.
Only 68?
Yeah, well, I put 18 in the first day it came out. So if you do the math, it's probably not that good.
I really enjoy the Xbox app because I can go through and like see how many, Jay's outplayed me in Halo by 10 hours.
Jay's outplayed me in Halo.
I don't know if that's true.
Definitely has. He was ahead of me. It doesn't count my single player time though.
Oh, if you don't count your single player, he's probably slightly ahead of you. Yeah.
I don't think the app counts my single player time.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought he was ahead of you.
He definitely was ahead of me.
Let's check it out. Let's do it. Let's
do it live. Didn't we do this last week?
Let's do it live. Did we? Not on Halo.
I feel like we talked about those.
Oh, I think we might have talked about it, but I don't think we did it live. Let's go, friends.
So
hello.
I think we should do our
Jam Hizzle Netflix watching a show.
Yeah, that's our boy. I feel like we should do our game of the year or favorite games of the year. I think we need to do that later until I play Just Cause 3.
I was gonna say we're not doing that right now.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, okay. So he's played 52 hours. I've played 39.
Hit me.
And we're gonna go to Survey Nuts. We're going to go to compare games. I really have to start uploading my Halo clips. I've been fucking lazy about that. You've played 75 hours.
So take 12 and a half off. So
you're 63.
Wow, I'm far ahead of Jay, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
10 hours ahead.
Whatever.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Fuck Jay.
Did I ever show you this clip? Let's do a live clip.
Live clip?
It's going to really sound good for the podcast.
Yeah, well, the mics are awesome. I keep turning my head, so I apologize for that. We're doing it live, and it's weird.
It's just a funny one. Oops. Oh, shit. There we go.
You stole that guy's
Wait.
kill. That was a good one.
I knew this guy was there. I tried to hit him off the map, but I hit my head on that.
Oh,
but I
then you
stuck him.
Nice.
Whole team, baby. That was nice,
You
right?
got a kill calculator for it?
No, because it was like a half a second too late.
Okay.
It would have been an overkill actually, because they changed it, which is the dumbest thing ever. But
What?
overkill.
I think that's
what it was in beta.
feels like that.
Kill
Feels
Tactics 5.
Feel like overkill feels like Call of Duty slang, but
I have no idea.
Me
But
either.
that perfect kill was nasty though, right?
it was dirty.
Because that guy was moving around.
It was very nicely done.
Yeah. Anyway, did you guys enjoy that?
It sounded good in the headset. I feel
Oh, good.
picked up quite nicely.
Well, it was a triple kill plus another kill. The stick was just great, though. The funny part about it was I tried to stick him based off the radar, but I hit my head on that little lip there. That's why I almost stuck myself. Did you see that first grenade?
Mhm.
I jumped and hit the grenade, and I hit my head on that. But it was good because I probably wouldn't have stuck him anyway. I think on the second time.
Is this the most casual podcast we've ever had? I feel like there's no pressure to talk about anything. It's been great.
Good, because we haven't.
No, we haven't.
All right, we got to get out of here, though. So I forgot it's Tuesday. I need to upload this piece of shit,
What's
Spunky.
this live sex show? I know a guy that can get a llama.
I don't know.
I don't know either. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for everybody that's been listening to us for the last 2 years. Words can't express how much it means to us. And
Post Thanksgiving, but we're very thankful.
we are. You guys mean the world to us. And yeah, we just can't say thank you enough. You guys have really made a difference in our lives.
I've made digital friends. It's really weird.
It is. Andy's not the digital friend.
I'm very anti-digital social.
Yes. But thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you who haven't reached out, reach out, motherfuckers. Don't just listen.
Yeah, because
let's play some Halo. Let's play some Rocket League. Let's I don't know. Join the podcast. Send us a message.
Do something. But
Snapchat me.
Yeah.
They delete themselves.
Send handy dick pics.
We had an 8-bit Bourbon Snapchat for like 5 seconds, and then some girl was sending us really raunchy shit.
It was bad when we put it on Twitch. And then,
that was no good.
She was topless on a motorcycle.
Yeah. But
going like 60 miles per hour.
We've all been there. Yeah. And on that, email us, 8bitbourbon@gmail.com, Twitch, 8bit Bourbon, Twitter, 8bit Bourbon. But I was going to say Twitch, Dustin, he's been twitching his balls off. He twitched tonight. His main schedule is what? Tuesday and Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And he does some stuff in between.
He'll throw like a Thursday in there.
So follow us on that. You'll get an email when it starts. Patrick Rothfuss is twitching Fallout 4, which is amazing, by the way. It's like a fantasy author twitching Fallout 4, dude. And he's tailor-made in a lab to like talk about like that kind of shit. It's a really good Twitch. You should watch him sometime. It's really good. I don't know. Spunky says thank you.
Friend of the show, Late Night Gamers, they have their 100th episode like extravaganza this weekend. Check it out. Go to their website, Late Night Gamers.
We might be on it, unless we're not.
we might be on the podcast. I'm not sure. But they're gonna live stream for like 2 days straight.
Either way, God bless you guys. Good luck.
That sounds fucking terrible.
Awful.
And 100% chance you don't do it. There's no way they're gonna make it 2 days.
Nah, no chance.
So good luck to you guys. Congratulations on your 100th show.
And I'm Andy.
I'm Adam.
Now we're 8-bit Bourbon.